Royal Caribbean is the first cruise line to get CDC approval to sail in U.S. waters after more than a year of being shut down. The first ship will leave from Florida next month with only fully vaccinated adult passengers and crew, even though that state has banned vaccine passports. As Elizabeth Palmer reports, other cruise ships, they're on the move in Europe.
When the Iona sailed into Southampton 2 weeks ago, she made quite the splash. 5,000 passengers will board later this summer for her maiden cruise to Scotland, with Captain Wesley Dunlop in command.
How lucky am I to be at the helm for it? I cannot wait.
Challenging that optimism are the floating nightmares from last spring. Remember the Zaandam, turned away from country after country with a deadly COVID outbreak on board? Or the 2,500 people who spent their dream vacation in quarantine on the Diamond Princess in Japan? Simon Calder is a travel writer.
It's a huge PR challenge. The people who are most susceptible to COVID-19, older travellers, are the absolute prime demographic for the cruise industry.
The industry is trying to build confidence. Aboard one of the first British cruises of the season last week, Calder not only had to have a COVID test, but everyone on board had to be fully vaccinated. And that's going to be the new normal everywhere.
So we've listened to our guests and they overwhelmingly told us that they wanted to travel with fellow vaccinated travellers.
The pandemic has cost the cruise industry $77 billion globally and more than 160,000 jobs in just the United States. A relaunch is underway, but it's going to be slow. With all those horror stories of COVID on the high seas at the start of the pandemic still fresh in public imagination, you'd think that the appetite for cruising would be down. Well, think again.
But we're all fine, waiting to go home.
Elaine Spencer was one of the passengers trapped in quarantine on the Diamond Princess. In fact, she's written a book about it.
So when I wrote the book, we both said that we're not sure if we're going to go on a cruise.
Ever again.
Ever again.
But a year is a long time on dry land, and over the past few months, Elaine and her husband have changed their minds. Their next cruise is already booked. There are some people who would say you're nuts.
Yeah, and I think my kids think we're nuts as well.
Loyalty like that will keep the industry afloat. Their research shows that 2 out of 3 past customers are ready for their next trip. For CBS This Morning, I'm Elizabeth Palmer in Southampton, England.
That's a very big boat.
Yeah, I want a captain like that one who said, I cannot wait. You want a captain who's very enthusiastic.
He was enthusiastic.
But cruising works for big families, and you've got different ages, people that have different interests. You're all there together. Some people don't like that, but I think it offers great options for people who are looking for something to do.
Those things are they're like little cities. I mean, there's lots to do.
Very cool.